Welcome back to our deep dive. Today, we're looking at a really ancient piece of writing, Psalm 90.
Right. It's one that grapples with some pretty profound, timeless questions.
Absolutely. It dives straight into these huge contrasts, like the scale of God versus the reality of, well, our brief time here.
Yeah, it kicks off by setting God completely outside of our concept of time. It says God's been our dwelling place forever, existed before the mountains were born.
That phrase, from everlasting to everlasting.
Exactly. It establishes this vast, almost incomprehensible scale.
It really does. Puts things in a cosmic perspective, and then, like you said, it just pivots, bam, straight to us. Mortals being turned back to dust. Return to dust, you mortals. It's quite stark.
Very stark. And it really leans into that difference in time scale. There's that incredible line. For 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by.
Like a watch in the night. So fleeting from that perspective.
Precisely. It's not just flowery language. It's saying there's a fundamental difference in how reality is experienced. 1,000 years for us. It's less than a night's sleep for God in this view.
It really forces you to consider how small our slice of time is against that backdrop.
Yeah. And our lives within that slice are described as, well, incredibly short and fragile.
Like grass, right. That springs up in the morning.
But by evening, it's dry and withered. Gone. It pulls no punches about how quickly it's all over for us.
And it's not just presented as short, but also difficult.
Definitely. The text talks about our days passing under divine displeasure even, finishing our years with a moan.
Wow, a moan. That's quite an image.
It's a remarkably blunt assessment of the human experience.
Yeah.
Not romanticized at all, just often hard and full of sorrow.
It even throws out a number, doesn't it? The length of our days is 70 years, or 80 if we have the strength.
And even that span, trouble and sorrow.
For they quickly pass, and we fly away. 70 or 80 years, often tough, and then poof, gone. So, given that really stark picture, what's the response? What does the Psalm say we should do?
Well, that reality, that brevity and difficulty, leads directly to probably the most famous part of the psalm, the plea. Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom.
Okay, number our days. What does that actually mean? Just counting them.
I think it's deeper than just counting. It's a request that comes right out of confronting our own mortality. It's like, because life is short and often hard, the real wisdom comes from truly grasping that limited time, understanding its value, its fragility.
So it's not about being obsessed with death, but about gaining a perspective.
Exactly. A perspective that leads to wisdom.
It seems a bit counterintuitive, maybe. Acknowledge how short life is to gain wisdom for living it.
Precisely. The wisdom isn't just intellectual. It's about orienting your heart, your actions. But really accepting, okay, I've got these 70 or 80 years maybe. You're meant to get clarity on what truly matters, how to spend that time wisely.
Okay, that makes sense. But, despite all this talk of things being short and difficult, the psalm does shift gears, doesn't it? It doesn't just end in that bleak place.
No, it absolutely doesn't. It makes this remarkable turn towards pleas. Pleas for compassion, for satisfaction.
Satisfaction with unfailing love, it says. And joy to kind of balance out the hard years.
Yeah, it's quite powerful. After staring hardship and how temporary everything is right in the face, it asks for divine favor. And not just for feeling good, like satisfy us, that we may rejoice, but also for meaning in what we do.
Establish the work of our hands, that part.
Right. Even within this short, challenging life, there's this deep desire for our efforts to mean something, to last somehow, and seeking that under divine blessing.
So Psalm 90 really holds these two things together, this tension, God's eternal scale.
And our fleeting, often difficult lives.
Yeah. And it suggests that real wisdom comes from truly understanding our own limits, our mortality.
And that understanding pushes us towards seeking joy, love, and asking for God's help in making our work count.
Ancient wisdom really urging us to live with intention by acknowledging time, both God's time and our own.
It's a powerful message.
So bringing this ancient thought to you listening right now, considering this view from Psalm 90 that our 70 or 80 years fly by, often filled with trouble, how does that idea of numbering your days to get wisdom, how might that challenge or change the way you approach the work you do? Or, what you seek satisfaction from in your life, something to maybe mull over?